Full time in Clonus, and Armagh have delivered another big performance, just as they did last weekend when they beat the All-Ireland champions Tyrone. This time around, they've beaten Donegal by 10 points. A scoreline of 3-17 to 16 points. An absolute whitewash in the end. A very, very comfortable and comprehensive win for the Yorkshire County. It certainly didn't start off that way. Well, it sort of did. I mean, they got the early goal and maybe it looked like it was going to be a comfortable day. But, Donegal responded very, very well. I mean, I think they hit 6 or 7 points without reply. And they were looking very, very good. They were looking like the better side. They were looking in the ascendancy. And it looked like Donegal had really turned up to the party. Donegal were playing quick football. They were kicking direct. They were playing some very intricate football. It was very fast. It was fluent. They kicked 10 points, or they kicked 9 points inside 21 minutes. And you were thinking, geez, Donegal have really turned up here. Like they're taking Armagh to the cleaners. Armagh, the Armagh lads look dizzy out there at times. But, in all fairness to them, they stuck to the game plan. They stuck to it. A couple of errors at the back from Sean Patton, his kick out, obviously, into Brendan McCole. He gets caught on 2 occasions back to back. The first opportunity for Armagh gets cleared on the line. Campbell should have put that one away. I think it was Stephen Campbell who ran through. But then it happened again. And, you have to give Armagh a lot of credit. Brilliant penalty from Rian O'Neill. And from then on in, they just controlled the game. And Donegal's confidence just seemed to go absolutely out the window. They couldn't win a kick out. Passing was going all over the place. And Armagh were just on top. And they just had the energy. And, from looking at this game, like it looked like it was 90% Armagh fans there. And, it looked like it was the majority of Armagh fans. And they were just really, up for their team. The Armagh players were playing with that intensity and, winning every ball. They were just absolutely brilliant. And, in the second half, they controlled the game. They slowed the game down. But I would have to say, though, Donegal were very poor in the second half. And like, just to think, like, inside 21 minutes, they kicked 9 points. And after that, just kicking 6 or 7 points after that. But there was a stage in the game where I think, they kicked like 1 score in about 20, 25 minutes. They were outscored by Armagh 2-7 to a point from about a 20-minute spell. Like, they were just really, really just weren't at it. And whether it's confidence or what it was, but in the second half, it was very, very notable and very, very visible that, like, they didn't quite back themselves as they did in the first half. Early on in the first half, they were taking chances. They were taking risks. They were going for it. They looked angry. They were playing with a vendetta. But in the second half, it was back to that sort of same Donegal that we've seen all year, where they're playing lateral hand passes, no real urgency, no movement up top, not really creating anything. And, going into the final 20 minutes, the game was very much over as a contest. And Donegal just didn't have anything left in the tank at all. And the more men they pushed forward, the more men they left exposed at the back. And that really allowed Armagh to pick them off on the counter-attack. Plenty of comments flying in there, so much appreciated. If you could hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, do plenty of reactions and podcasts similar to this one. So if you could subscribe, that would be absolutely brilliant. But we'll run through, obviously, the events of the games, of the game, and sort of go through the talking points. I mean, Rory Grugan obviously gets that early goal inside 10 seconds. Rian O'Neill with a brilliant ball. I mean, how good was Rian O'Neill, by the way? Outstanding. 1-7 in the game. An unbelievable performance. I mean, I thought he'd been a little bit quiet coming into this game, sort of at the end of the league. And even in the Tyrone game, I'm not sure if he even scored. He was a little quiet. But today, he was phenomenal. I mean, just exceptional. 1-7. What a performance from him. And it wasn't just his goal and his points. I mean, he was tracking back. He was getting tackles in. He was doing so much support play and link-up play for this Armagh side. It was breathtaking. But yeah, after that goal from Grugan, I mean, Armagh struggled with the kick out. Donegal were winning a lot of kick outs and they started very, very fast. McHugh kicked a brilliant point. Murphy was getting on the score sheet. McBurty was on the score sheet and was looking very good for Donegal. I mean, they were 9 points to 1-2 up at one stage. There were 4 points to the good. And you were kind of worried for Armagh because, they didn't kick their first point from play until the 17th minute. I know they got the goal, but 17 minutes without a point from play was a little bit worrying from an Armagh perspective. But the big turning point really in this game really came just towards the end of the half. I mean, Armagh had started to get a bit of a foothold before the penalty. Rian O'Neill with a couple of frees, and Jarly O'Byrne's got on the score sheet as well. But the turning point was most definitely the penalty, and Sean Patton obviously hitting it out short. I don't think he should have hit it out short twice. I think you learn from the first time when it doesn't work out. He kicks it out short again. McCall gets caught, and obviously the Armagh forward gets brought down by Sean Patton. It's an undoubtable penalty, no question about it. Black card from Sean Patton. Rian O'Neill scores, and from then on in, they just didn't seem, their confidence seemed to be gone. Even at the start of the second half, like, they brought Patton and McBrearty back on the pitch, and it didn't make a difference at all. Armagh were just comfortable. They got even better, and I think they were 4 or 5 points up at that stage. They ended up winning it by 10. So it was just very, very comfortable. And second half, they just picked Donegal off. Stephen Sheridan, what a lovely dummy for that goal. That was very nice indeed. And Armagh just managed the game. They really, really did manage the game very, very well. Kieran says, hopefully Derry and Armagh don't draw each other. No, a lot of Ulster teams tend to draw each other, so we'll see what happens. It will be a very intriguing game, them two to play each other. I'd love to see Armagh against Kerry personally, though. Nisha says here, Armagh bossed Donegal all over the pitch today. You'd think that has to be the final nail in Bonner and Rochford's coffin. What else have they got to offer at this stage tactically inept? And Porrick says, Rian O'Neill, man of the match in a class display. He can do everything on a football pitch. Penalty, free, score from play midfield, or in the forward line. Yeah, I mean, he was just absolutely everywhere. He was defending as well. He was almost playing as a halfback at times. It was an incredible performance from Rian O'Neill, and definitely, you could say, probably his best performance in an Armagh shirt so far, and he's had plenty of good performances. So what a performance from him. And yeah, as Nisha was saying there, like, Donegal were very bad in the second half, like, just very, very poor. No urgency, no plan B. They're hitting long and it wasn't working, and it just they fell too far behind and left themselves with too much to do. And as you say there, I mean, I don't think Declan Bonner stays on. Surely he doesn't stay on. I was surprised he was even there at the start of this year, to be honest. But I'd be shocked to see him there next year. I mean, it'd be intriguing to see who they bring in. I mean, Donegal fans can let me know in the comments below. I know Rochford's been touted before as maybe taking over the main managerial role. I'm not sure. Like, do they give it to him, given the fact that he's been part of what's failed already? I don't know. McGuinness is always going to be linked, but I don't think he'll take the job, to be honest. So I don't really know. Is there an under-20 manager, minor manager who could come in there? Club manager maybe could take the role. I don't really know who comes in as the manager, to be honest. But undoubtedly, I think there will be a change, and there has to be a change because it clearly hasn't worked. When you look at it, 5 Ulster finals, I think, during Bonner's reign, or maybe 4 Ulster finals. They've won 2 of them, but they haven't got beyond the last 8, and that is of big disappointment for Donegal. Patrick says Armagh will be feared. They will be. They certainly will be. I don't think anyone will want to play them in the quarterfinals. As a Dublin fan, I definitely don't want to get them. Be nice to beat them and get a bit of revenge for that league defeat earlier in the year, but I think that will be very, very tough. I think they'll be our toughest opponent probably at this moment in time. I think it'd be very, very tough to beat them. So yeah, Porrick says here, Martin McHugh or Jim McGuinness come back, Galway v Armagh quarter final. Yeah, Martin McHugh wouldn't be a bad shout. Don't know if he's been out of senior football management for a while, inter-county management. So I don't know. Maybe he would. Maybe he'd be an option. Wouldn't be a bad shout, I suppose. Surprised he's never got the job in the past. So he's obviously managed Cavan, hasn't he? Won an Ulster title with Cavan. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with him. But Armagh, yeah, they will be feared, and they could go a long way. And if they get themselves on the side of a draw with Derry and Galway, who knows? They could go all the way to a final. And look, I don't think they'll fear Kerry or Dublin either. I mean, they beat Dublin already in the year. They gave Kerry a good run for their money as well. So I don't think they'll fear anyone. And I think Armagh are definitely in the conversation as All-Ireland contenders. I think they have to be. They definitely have to be. 2 big wins over Donegal and Tyrone, 100% in the equation as All-Ireland contenders. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you could hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, be much appreciated. And let me know what draw do you want to see tomorrow for the qualifiers or for the quarterfinals. I think Dublin, Mayo, Armagh, Kerry, Clare, Galway, and Cork. Who's the other team in there that's evaded me all of a sudden? Cork, Derry. Yeah, that would be my ideal draw. That would be the draw that I want to see right there. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So cheers anyone who tuned in, and I'll see you all soon.